If you follow my channel, EV-olution, the channel about electric car ownership from the perspective of a first-time EV owner, then you'll know that almost 1 year ago I made a video about the summer wheels I bought for my 2019 Kia Niro EV, the Fast EV01 Plus. Now these are wheels that are made for electric cars, and on the Niro EV it makes a notable improvement. Now if you want to know what that improvement is and what they look like with and without the inserts stuck onto them, then stick around, I'll let you know in 10 seconds. Now, as I mentioned in my video from last year with the unboxing of these Fast EV01 Plus wheels, is that in the province of Quebec, it's mandated by law that you have winter tires on all four wheels from December 15th to March 15th of the following year. Now, I've always had winter wheels that were steel rims, but I got fed up of them looking like crap, and this year I opted to do something different. So I kept the original wheels from the Kia and stuck my winter tires on them. I have some Nokia and Hakkapeliitta R3s without the studs, and they are by far the best winter tires I've ever owned, and I've had some pretty good ones from Yokohama, etc. But I bought these wheels for the summer to make the car look a little bit different than other Niros. Not that it's a very common car, but these definitely look different than what you get originally. Now I've been driving this car with these wheels for the last several months, and I've noticed a big difference in the range that I can get out of my car. The power consumption is substantially lower than with the original wheels. Now I can attribute this to the fact that these are extremely light wheels. And even though I don't have the inserts inserted into them to get the EV01 Plus portion, which I'll show you a little bit later, the consumption I'm getting is about 14.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now last year when I drove this car, I drove it essentially the same way, if not less aggressively than I'm driving it this year, and I was averaging between 15 to 17.5, 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now that's a huge savings in terms of power consumption, and I'm attributing that to the fact that these are so much lighter than the original wheels that to get them rolling takes quite a bit less power. Now, I'm really curious to see when I stick the inserts into these wheels to see what kind of extra range I'm going to get when I drive at highway speeds, because I do have a 2,000 kilometer road trip planned for my 25th wedding anniversary that's going to be happening at the end of August. And I'll definitely be doing a follow-up video to let you know what my experience is. But so far, just as they are the EV01s, the power savings are actually very impressive. So let me show you what the car looks like as it's driving around with these wheels on them, and then I'll stick the inserts in and show you what the difference is in terms of look as it's driving and static. I apologize for the car wheels and tires being so dirty, but because it's been raining on and off every day for the last several days and this video is well overdue, well, I opted to record as it is, so at least you get to see what the wheels look like. Now that you've seen the Niro with the EV01s installed, I'll be installing the Plus portion, which is the aero inserts that require installation with 2 Allen screws. Now there are 5 per wheel, meaning that there are 10 Allen screws, 40 in total. So to remove the ones that are there, I'm going to be using some power. To reinsert the longer ones, because the plastic inserts require longer Allen screws, I'll be going more gently with the Allen key. If you're wondering what these are the supports that I use to record the wheels up close with my GoPros, so you can ignore them. You can also ignore these scratches from the hit and run that happened with my car this past winter. I still haven't had time to bring it in for paint and replacement. I do have the plastic trim, and I'll be having this painted. But for now, it is what it is. But these wheels are fantastic. Now, these are the inserts that I was talking about. These inserts are made of a plastic that seems quite durable, and they simply get stuck into this area here once I remove the Allen screws that are in there. So let's get started. Well, It's a good thing I've got this cordless because I wouldn't want to do that by hand. So let's insert one of these, show you how that happens. There's this little plastic retainer clip right here, and that just slides in like that. And the longer screws go into the 2 holes that I just removed the screws from. Now this kit does come with a bunch of these little longer screws, enough for the 10 screw holes that are there. And it also comes with a Allen key, but I opted to use mine, which is a little bit longer. It is a 4mm. So let's put those in. This should be a little longer to do. Now, a few things to note. You might have seen that I was backing the screws out before actually tightening them up, and that is for one main reason, actually the only reason, is to avoid cross-threading. When you back the screw out slightly, you'll hear it click. That means that the threads are aligned and you can tighten the screw without worrying about cross-threading. Now, after I was done inserting it and tightening them, I went back and tightened a little bit more just because these can be a little bit loose if you don't tighten them enough. But one thing that's important is you don't want to over tighten, because if you do, you will crack the plastic. So let's install the rest. Now you may have noticed that I've been tapping on the covers after I've installed them and after I've screwed in the screws, and that's just because I wanted to make sure that they were properly snugged in, because if they're a little loose they'll rattle and that would be annoying. So they should sound as if they're part of the wheel. As you can tell from this one, it looks a little bit more like the Niro original wheel, but still has a difference, and this gunmetal gray is fantastic. I'm sorry they're dirty, they should be clean. But this video needed to be done, and it's been raining on and off every single day, so I'm taking advantage of the sun while I've got it. Let's continue. Now, one thing is, when you're taking these out, you want to make sure that when you're backing the screw out, once it gets towards the end, you want to slow down and pull it out straight so as not to scratch while you're unscrewing. So if you're using a power tool, watch not to scratch your mags. Now, if you're the kind of person that likes to change their mind with regards to the way the wheel looks and you want to take these inserts back out, then I strongly suggest that you put these 4 bags with the Allen screws in a safe place, because the shorter screws are required when these are taken out, because these will stick out quite a bit if you don't have these, and it'll look kind of funny. So just be warned, save the old screws because you might need them in the future. So let's have a look at what this looks like a little bit up close and then rolling, and then you can decide what you prefer. The looks of any car and the wheels that are on them are a matter of personal taste and very subjective. So it's up to you to decide whether you prefer the original Kia Niro EV wheel, or whether you like the Fast EV01, that's this one here, or whether you like the version that I now have in my car, which is the Fast EV01 Plus. Now, for myself, now that I've had both versions of the EV01 as well as the original Kia Niro wheels on my car, I definitely much prefer the EV01 Plus version. I think with the color of the wheel, the color of the inserts, and the gravity blue paint of my car, I think it looks fantastic. Not only that, I should be getting some efficiencies at highway speeds because I now have the plastic inserts which are designed to add aero efficiency at highway speeds. So that's a subject I'm going to be talking about in a second, but I wanted to let you know, just very quickly, in case you didn't know, I have an evolution webpage, that's evolution.ca, that you can visit to make it easier for you to view all of my videos from YouTube, because they're all listed chronologically on my website. You don't have to jump from one thing to another. You can actually watch them directly on my website. Another advantage of my website is that it gets you access to all of my Instagram pictures, which are pictures of future video things that I post there, or EV, non-EV related things, and some behind the scenes pictures that may be of interest to you. If you're interested, visit evolution.ca and you get access to all that stuff in one place. Otherwise, you can visit my Instagram account and click the follow button. That'll make me super happy as well. And if you have any questions, you can also visit my Evolution Facebook page. That's a place where you can ask me any question you want with regards to electric cars. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Now, just to let you know, if you like these Fast Wheels, you can visit the Fast Wheels website, which I'll put a thing here and link in the description below. And it gives you information, technical specs, and you can choose the size that fits your car. You can upsize your wheels if you want. That's up to you to verify overall diameter of your tires. And speaking of tires, one thing that I didn't mention earlier in this video is that when I bought my Fast EV01 Plus wheels, I opted for the 17-inch direct fit replacement because I wanted to keep my original tires, which are the Michelin MXV4, because they're brand new. So all of my testing has been done on the same tire, inflated to the same pressure. I inflate mine to 40 psi, and on the same sized wheel. So my comparison for power savings, which I'll talk about in a second, are definitely a direct one-to-one comparison. When I mentioned that I was getting 14.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers this year on a regular basis, it's actually something that happens very easily now, whereas last year it was something that was more like seeing a unicorn. And not only was it like seeing a unicorn at 14 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, getting into the 13s was like seeing a flying unicorn with a monkey on its back. And not only that, the monkey was smoking a cigar. Now, before you animal people start saying that a chimpanzee isn't a monkey, it's really hard to find a picture of a monkey smoking a cigar. So I went with the chimp and the monkey term. So let's move on. Regarding the power savings, here's a first picture of some of my history driving the car. And this is with the EV01s, not even with the plus inserts on the car. Now, as you can see, I'm getting 14 and 15 and even 13 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And this is all with normal driving. I'm not granddaddying this thing, and I'm not running it in eco mode. I'm driving it in normal mode and sport mode. And when I drive it normally with the air conditioning and ventilated seats, I'm still getting some really good power numbers. It's surprising. Now here's another picture of 3 more days of my history that shows you, again, that it's something that's easily done in normal driving. So just before you click out of this video, I'd really appreciate if you could click on that subscribe button. I'm this close to my 5,000 subscriber personal goal, and if you click on it, it makes me smile. If you click on the notification bell, it makes me smile even more and makes me want to make more content for my YouTube channel. And for my French viewers, si vous écoutez mes vidéos mais vous ne comprenez pas l'ensemble de ce que j'ai dit, n'hésitez pas à me poser vos questions en français, ici dans la section des commentaires ou sur ma page Facebook. Ça va me faire plaisir de vous répondre en français. Et si vous cliquez sur le bouton « Abonner », ça met grand sourire à ma bouche. Donc, merci d'avoir écouté ma vidéo. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. If you follow my channel, Evolution, the channel about electric car ownership from the perspective of a first-time EV owner, then you'll know that not over 1 year ago, about 1 year ago, almost 1 year ago. I'll eventually get it right. As I mentioned in my video from last year about the unboxing of these wheels, is in the province of Quebec, it's mandated by law to have winter wheels on. Now, like I mentioned in my video last year, is that in the province of Quebec, it's Quebec? The province of Quebec. That's a new province. Yeah. Now that you've seen what the Niro looks like with the EV01s installed them, And there are these longer Allen screws that require installation. Or whether you prefer the version, the EV01 Plus, which I now have in my car, these here with the plastic inserts. So you decide, and that was total crap.